Donald Trump. We're gonna talk about him one more time. This is the big news, I guess, probably the biggest news of this week. Some people even said they brought this in. It was the Illuminati to get our minds off of the school shooting. You know what I mean? Because this
Damn.
definitely hit the front pages. But Donald Trump has finally been officially indicted on several charges.
Tough
He really,
several.
yeah. So I'm trying to be modest. So he landed in New York City today, where these charges are obviously being brought up against him, and he is said to allegedly be turning himself in tomorrow. I guess that'll be news. We'll see how that goes tomorrow. And we'll talk about
Currently
that
having
next
his
week.
last supper at the Trump Towers.
Last up at the Trump Towers, which I'm sure this won't be as difficult as a journey for most people that get Fed charges brought upon them, I'd
Yeah.
assume. But it's
Oh, of
still
course not.
it's still history. It's still definitely the first president and or ex-president, depending on how you look at things, to get brought on these kind of charges, man. A full blown indictment, federal charges. Now, before I get into y'all, you know what I mean, and see what you guys have to say about it, I do want to say that clearly, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I think the argument that a lot of people, especially followers of his, which I'm not a follower of his, I don't hate him by any means, but I'm not a follower. Their problem, I think, is that these charges are a little bit, no pun intended, but a little trumped up. If you know what I'm saying, these charges ain't really, you know, the main charge here is that what he took some bribes from an ex porn star. We all know a president that was the president when we was young coming up, who did some things with a young lady,
Hmm.
and and he faced his situation in court as well. So I guess until we see Trump's outcome, we can't really say he's being mistreated. But I do
Right.
think this is something they might be trying to put in the way of him and tarnish his future campaign that he plans on having. But honestly, personally, I think it might do the opposite effect. I think this might rile up his followers and even people who are on the fence about him even more to go out and vote for him if he runs. So, with that being said, Don, let me hear. What do you think, or what did you
So,
think when you first saw these charts that he was indicted? Go ahead.
yeah. What's funny is yeah, I definitely laughed when I seen he was indicted because it just sounds funny. That's number one. Like Trump getting
Yeah,
like arrested, like even like when we talked about the picture, the AI generated picture, that was
yeah,
just it was funny. But so if we get down to a serious note, like you said, I'm not a Trump follower, nor I don't even hate Trump like that. Um,
yeah.
uh, though some of the charges sounded like a little, like you said, trumped up. Like you know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
he's getting charged for hush money he paid to cover up affairs with two women, including like a porn star, Stormy Daniels. Um,
He might be one of the few that got caught, but he's definitely not the only president who's done that.
Yeah.
yeah,
What?
exactly. Like I mean, I don't see how that's a crazy big deal because like it's not like he sexually assaulted her.
Right.
Like this is he act like
No.
they actually had, I think it was probably like a consensual thing. It's just he's lying and saying that it didn't happen, and she ain't saying it did happen, and he paid her money to shut her mouth. So I just don't understand that part of it. Like why is he getting arrested, or why are these? I don't get the legalities of it pretty much. The other
Right.
things is when it comes to elections, like him trying to overturn the election and the classified documents that were left at his in at Mar-a-Lago. So with that being said, it sounds a little trumped up, but I could bring it back to when we was talking about 6ix9ine and
Right.
say that this was definitely due for Trump because of how he exited the office, how he did a lot of these people in the public eye. I believe that they're going after him for this reason. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
does he deserve it? Does he not deserve it? I don't know, but like, am I surprised that they going after him like that? Like, hey, he's messing with the wrong people. I guess I don't know.
Right. Right. Clay, what you think? What do you think? What did you think when you saw this indictment?
Um. Well, I mean, we've heard for a long time that it was coming, but I honestly didn't think that they would like. I can't. Well, I can't say I didn't think they would have a case, but I didn't think they would try to make it this big of a case. So my reaction was just like Don's. I kind of laughed about it, like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Right.
Really, I just want to see how this whole thing plays out. I do also feel just like you, Jay. I feel like it will kind of rally up his followers, especially if it starts to art. The second it starts to look in a way like like he might get away with it, and they're just out to get him in a sense. Oh, it's gonna be a rocket ship from there. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out from here on out.
Yeah, man, we got to remember this man was also the first president to get a specific group of people to storm a known government building like they
Yeah.
was really going to take it over. And there's no one else has done that. And I just feel like if he can stir people to do something like that, and mind you, they've been handing out punishments for these people, and they're not exactly harsh punishments. I mean, I know dope boys that have done
Word.
more time than what these people are getting for that.
Word.
But so if someone has the power to stir people up like that, I don't know. I don't feel like you trying to do like a witch trial on him or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's a good idea, especially if you're trying to distance him from the country
Mhm.
and from running in politics again. I don't know.
Well,
But I guess we'll see what happens. Yeah, go ahead. Go
we
ahead.
also got to remember we talking about like what is it, the Supreme Court? We talking about big known people. If they really want to, like, they gonna twist and turn whatever they got to do if they really want to lock them up. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If they want them locked up,
Right.
they
And if
can
you
lock them up.
Yeah.
Right. And if I don't know if they've said, but if one of you could look up is what's like the max as far as actual prison time, what's the max he could get for something like this? Because I am interested in what you guys think. Like, what do you think he would actually get if he was found guilty?
I'm gonna find out right now.
Says.
Found.
I got the article right
I
here.
don't know. I don't see. Obviously, it would be a pleasant trip, but I just don't see Trump doing a lot of time in prison.
Let's see what this says. Clay, if you get it faster than me, just
Yeah,
So-
whoever finds it first.
Well, I mean, we know that they're trying to indict him with 30 different charges.
mhm.
Yeah, that's 30.
Uh,
Let's see. Juvenile penalties, the charges.
yeah, I'm not really seeing as far as how much he looked like he could be facing.
I'm seeing
weird.
I'm seeing the penalties for it's just like broad information. Kind of the penalties for misdemeanors could range from fines to up to a year in jail, or penalties could be higher. Boom, boom, boom. So it's not really saying a specific time that he could be.
Yeah.
locked up for.
Yeah,
so
I feel like
guess-
he wouldn't get that much. Yeah, I feel like,
Yeah.
especially with his kind of lawyers, by the time it's probably going to go from 30 charges to like 15 or 14 or
Yeah,
something like that.
and it says the 30 counts are all related to business fraud, and his team has been raising money, and it says that they've raised $7 million
Yeah, he got like
to fight the kids
like
alone.
$7 million.
My
And
man
that's
raised
what I'm
7
talking
mil.
about. You see, he got seven in a matter of a couple of days. He
Appreciate
got
you,
people
boss
to put
moves.
up 7 mil. Facts. Appreciate you. But yeah, bro, like in a matter of a couple of days, like he got his people to put up 7 mil. You know what I mean?
Listen, yo, if okay, so I believe Trump either way is gonna come out on top, and I'll tell
Yeah.
you why, right? Because even if bro goes in and does a month, right? Like he guilty on whatever charges and does a month, when he comes out, his support is still gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you can still there's no, like, you can be a felon and run for president. I found that out the other day. Like, you can be a felon
Yeah,
and run for
gotcha.
president. You could have a long list of crime and still run for president. That's one thing that you can do. Think the qualifications is you only have to be over 35, a U.S. citizen for over a certain amount of time, and some other stuff. I forgot what it was, but you can run for president with things on your record. So he's still gonna run for president. His fan base is probably gonna go hard for him, like how Boosie's fan base went hard for him, right when he got out of prison. So, bro, about to go crazy. He gonna come
That's a
out.
fact.
He gonna touch down, touch home, and you know what I'm saying, go on his presidential run.
He gonna touch some
Yeah.
M's.
Yeah.
That
So
campaign.
I feel like that man has a cult following. I can't even deny this. From what year he became president? What year was that?
2016.
2016, 2017, whatever it was. And he's had a cult fan base since then. So that cult fan base obviously has some sort of pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. This might have been the wrong move. But we definitely gonna see. That will be a developing story, I'm sure, for the rest of the week. And the next time we come over here, we'll talk about it again, man. But unless y'all got anything else, you got